I am efforting like hell to get somebody from Louisville.
You're trying to get somebody from Louisville.
I am trying to get somebody in Louisville, Kentucky.
We need boots on the ground.
I'd love to get an inmate that was in the cell with Scottie.
Scotty's selling.
What's prison Scottie like?
You know, he's a really nice guy. He told me to pray a couple of times, talked about his newborn son.
Or did he come in there, punch you square in the face, and assert the dominance, the hierarchy of...
You know who I am!
I'm prison Scottie!
I got the top bunk.
Yeah.
We're going to beat their ass.
Yeah, we're going to beat that ass. Scottie Scheffler, you never know when you get locked up what you could become.
RG3 sent out a tweet this morning saying, we've never seen anything like this before in golf or in sports.
Yeah.
And people are immediately quote tweeting it saying, Tiger Woods got his wife ran a 7-iron through his windshield on Thanksgiving while he was high on Ambien as he drove his car into a fire hydrant and was arrested and lost a tooth.
It's a fair rebuttal. The only counter to defend RG3 here is the closest thing to this specific thing where an athlete was going to play.
Detained on his way to the game.
Is it like a Barrett Robbins missing 24 hours before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, what the hell happened to that guy? Where'd he go?
That's quite literally what the Raiders were saying. Where did our center go?
We could use an offensive lineman for tomorrow. You know anybody?
Where did they end up finding him? Didn't he have like a mental health breakdown, didn't he?
I think
Wasn't he in Mexico?
I think it was Mexico, yeah.
He just fled
I
the
think he
country.
just went to Mexico the night before the Super Bowl. That was like the biggest tell the Raiders are going to get smoked in that game.
That's probably on your analogy of going to the game or like on your way to compete. That's probably the closest one.
I'm not really certain why my mom would do this or any other family, but my stepdad, once in a while when I was a kid, after he divorced with my mom, he would go in and out of jail all the time. He'd get Deweys. He'd get arrested for just dumb crap. And we'd still go to his house every other weekend. He'd be like, yeah, he was arrested on Wednesday. He was out by Friday.
He's back out 48 hours later.
I never thought about it as a kid, but as an adult, I look back and go, and why were we with him?
Maybe we shouldn't have been there for that weekend. Not the safest place to be, potentially, for a guy that's getting arrested every other week.
But I remember one time he randomly's like, one of the big rules, don't look people in the eye when you go in there. Was anybody in the cell?
Valuable life lesson for Scottie Scheffler to learn, too.
I was maybe 9 when I heard it.
When
so
I
here
go to
am.
prison someday, I'm not going to look you in the eye, man. I'm looking straight at the ground.
You treat them like lions. Don't make eye contact. They'll think you want to fight them.
The only one I ever heard was just don't drop the soap. That's the only one that was out there for me. Hold on to that bar, buddy. Scotty, hold on to the bar!
Do you think he had any other people in the cell? Because I imagine they took him to the standard jail, the drunk tank.
I don't even know how that works. So because I've never been arrested, thankfully, surprisingly for some, but they take you in. I would imagine he's got to get to like the front desk area where he's like still in handcuffs.
Getting processed.
You get processed. Now then, does he have to go actually sit in a cell for a while, or do they say you've been processed, here are your charges, you're now free to go on your own?
He got put in an orange jumpsuit.
For the mugshot, yeah, but in that process, he's actually sitting in a cell.
Probably. If you're detained, you're not allowed to wander about.
Dude, if you get second-degree assault of a cop, you're at least sitting in a cell.
In a cell.
Yes.
I now hope that there was somebody else with him in that cell.
I want to get that person on the show.
Because that guy is going to have a story of a lifetime. Like, imagine somebody who just got, public intoxication or something is sitting in the cell overnight because he got too hammered or whatever. He wakes up in the morning, it's 5 o'clock. And who do you see sitting next to you? But it's Scottie Scheffler with a smile on his face.
Imagine if he knew him, too. He was like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God, you're Scottie Scheffler.
What are you doing
Aren't
here?
you 5 under right now? What the hell are you doing here, man? Your tee time's in like 2 hours.
Dude, I bet on you to win the title.
You better get your ass back there, dude.
Here was Jeff Darlington's report of the Scheffler arrest. Scottie Scheffler's arrest.
Obviously, this is something that we just witnessed, and we're essentially trying to explain what it is that we saw. This is not what we're being told. This is what we saw. So there was a bus that was essentially waiting to enter the property. Traffic was backed up miles because we were told by police officers there was a pedestrian fatality. Police officers also instructed us that the only people that were allowed to enter Valhalla Golf Club were players. We were then positioned second in line to enter Valhalla Golf Club behind a bus that did not have a driver in the driver's seat. Police officers were trying to attempt to figure out why that bus was still sitting there at the entrance, not moving. We were waiting behind that car. Scheffler's car, did not know it was Scheffler's car at the time. It was marked as an official vehicle of the PGA Championship. It had that marking on the side. He was the only person in the vehicle. He was driving the vehicle. He attempted to pull around into the shoulder, which was a wide shoulder. It was not off-road by any means. He pulled his car around at that point. That's when the police officer told him he needed to stop. I shouldn't assume anything. It seemed as if he said something to the police officer and then continued to go. He went again about 10 yards before the police officer then started to bang on his vehicle, yell obscenities. Eventually, when Scheffler lowered the window, the police officer grabbed his arm and started to pull it out of the vehicle.
Yeah, it's a really big day for Jeff Darlington. He is going to gain a ton of social media traction.
Right place, right time. Get the phone out, and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm a little bummed that so it's not a launching of the cop into the car, because I've had this vision in my head all morning of like a flying squirrel, like a cop just like jumping onto the hood of his car. No! Landing on front.
Look at this. We've got a guy named Steve Romines. He's a local attorney that was hired on Scottie Scheffler's behalf.
I guess there was a report out there too that the owner or GM or whatever you call it of Valhalla Country Club was the guy who went to the jail and got Scottie Scheffler out of jail. I think that report was out there this morning too.
Okay, so we'll have to kind of some of this stuff you just got to wait and see how it plays out, right? If you're going to go off that report, and by the way, the only thing Darlington is screwing up in my estimation, because he has been top-notch on this, he's making it sound like Scheffler is just hitting the gas and driving away.
Yeah, flooring it down the shoulder.
But then he says 10 yards. And again, a car going 10 yards is nothing. So what it sounds like to me is what I see in my mind by the way he paints this picture. Scottie behind a bus that's not moving. Probably thinks maybe the bus is broken down. He goes around a wide shoulder.
My tee time's in 2 hours. Like, I'm trying to get into the golf course.
I got things I do. I have a routine.
Yeah.
He sees a guy. He assumes the guy is security. Turns. Guy bangs on car. He instantly stops. Cop starts screaming because he's mad.
Yeah, he freaks out.
Rolls window down. Scottie probably says something to the effect of, hey, I'm a golfer. I go golf.
I'm Scottie Scheffler. I'm going to play.
Cop doesn't care. Cop opens door, rips Scottie out. Boom, arrested. Somehow Scottie now has second-degree assault of a police officer, which is a whole other...
How did we get there?
Assault, okay.
That's assault, brother.
So we'll have to wait and see, but it sounds like a cop on a crime scene. It just sounds like a big miscommunication is what I'm taking away here.
It's exactly what it is, which is why at some point I will continue to ask, how was there not somebody involved that could have stepped in and said, hold on, let's take a deep breath here. What are we doing? This guy was pulled over in a car with logos of the golf course on it with a P on the windshield. Why don't we take a deep breath before we then haul him off to jail, put him in an orange jumpsuit, take his mugshot, release his mugshot to the public, charge him with crimes that, according to these reports, he didn't assault a police officer in any way, shape, or form.
It didn't sound like he had a chance to. He got pulled out of a car and arrested.
No, he was pulled out of the vehicle.
So how do you get that charge?
That's a great question.
Unless they're saying he, like, with the car, hit him.
No chance.
But I don't know how that's... I mean,
this is so.
Wouldn't that be higher than second degree?
What's the first degree? Ran over a police officer with his vehicle going? Yes, that would be a very serious charge against him. You can't run over a police officer.
And you got Darlington right behind him.
He's right there the entire time.
All these ESPN guys are going to be witnesses in this trial.
Given the history of this police unit, it's not passing a smell test right now.
The fact that a cop walked up to Jeff Darlington, who the cop thought he was his agent, as Darlington was following him filming, he thought he was like his agent or manager. He's like, dude, I'm just a member of the media. That video's out there as well. And walked up to him and said, do you know who he is? Like they had how through the entire arrest process where he's saying over and over and over again, I'm a PGA Tour player. I'm playing in the PGA Championship. How could you not connect the dots and fix this mistake before it's too late? People are pointing out or sending out videos, too, of the other guys when Mark Wahlberg's character shoots Derek Jeter in the tunnel at Yankee Stadium, saying this is going to be that Louisville police officer the rest of his life.
Oh, no.
You arrested Scottie Scheffler, dude. What are you doing?
Andrew says Scottie Scheffler needs to start the round by saying, get busy living or get busy dying.
You're damn right. People were painting on tattoos of teardrops onto him. Scottie on the first tee today, he's going to have a teardrop tattoo.
Oh, Scottie Scheffler arrested. Just the last golfer I would have ever picked to be arrested for something like this.
This is our moment, golf. Go have a day today, dude.
Go have a moment, golf.
Give us a moment here. Come on. Good leaderboard going into the weekend.
This is the best thing for golf since when?
Tiger winning the Masters in 2019.
Holy hell, it's 5 years ago.
I mean, name a better moment in the last 5 years for golf.
That's a good poll question. We've got one up now. Should Scottie Scheffler play in his orange jumpsuit in the second round, yes or no, at Dirt and Sprague? And the new question we're going to post, is this the best thing to happen to the PGA since Tiger winning the Masters in 2019?
I mean, the sport has been crumbling since then.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour is withered.
Live.
It's two watered-down tours. It's all about business and money and crap that normal fans don't really care about. This is going to get eyeballs on your sport like you can't even believe.
All right, well, we'll wrap up the Scottie conversation coming up next. Even update on that leaderboard is Scottie Scheffler was arrested this morning after a dispute with a police officer. He was released on bail. He's been charged with 4 things. We'll run down those if you missed it. And he is set to tee off here